everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be turning some more of my students' drawings into polymer clay designs. For those of you who don't know, I am actually a teacher as well as a YouTuber and all my clay stuff on the side. So what I've done is I've taken some of my students' drawings and I'm going to be using polymer clay to bring these drawings to life. Before we get started, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you would like to see lots more crafty videos. And let's get started. So the first design we have here is an avocado bunny. My students all know that I really enjoy making kawaii designs and in particular combining food with animals. So you always see that quite a bit in these types of videos. So to begin making my bunny, I prepared my colors of polymer clay that I planned on using. Here I'm starting off by creating the avocado. So I had rolled a light green piece of clay into the avocado shape, and then I rolled down a really thin sheet of some darker green clay, which I'm using to cover the inside of the avocado. As you can see, I'm trying to make sure that the whole avocado is covered, and I'm just blending down all the little joins with my fingers. Once I had done that, I then cut the avocado in half to reveal the inside. And if you are ever having a little bit of trouble with this, you can firstly place your clay in the fridge or the freezer just to harden it before you cut it, and it will help retain the shape a little more. So I also shaded the inside of the avocado with some green chalk pastel shavings, and then I added a brown seed. Moving on to the bunny, here I am attaching some ears onto the head, and then I also created the little kawaii face with some black polymer clay. I then attached the bunny's head onto the avocado, and I did have to trim off a little bit of the top part of the avocado just so that it would fit on, and then I also added the arms on either side. Before I added the feet to the charm, I created the little paw pads with some pink polymer clay before baking my charm in my oven according to my package's instructions. Then, so my bunny matched my student's original drawing after baking, I painted on some black spots with acrylic paint, and I also added some pink cheeks as well because I forgot to create them with polymer clay. So here is what my finished avocado bunny charm looks like, and I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. And then here it is also next to the original drawing, and I'm hoping that I did it justice. So design number 2, as you can see, we have the food animal theme going again, and this one is a combination of a cat and a burger. Here we have a lovely drawing of the side view of this charm. I thought this one would be fun to make because it does have some different ingredients, and I thought the pink and purple eyes were also an interesting feature that I wanted to create as well. So here we have the colors of polymer clay that I'm going to be using for this charm. I began by creating the burger. So here I am texturing and shading the burger bun, which is made with some tan polymer clay. I then added some little seeds on top of the bun to match the drawing. Then here I'm just pretty much adding all the fillings. So I started with a piece of yellow polymer clay for the cheese on the bottom. Then I added the patty and the tomatoes, which are just flat circles of red polymer clay. And then using my needle tool, I created a nice leafy texture using some green polymer clay for the lettuce. And I mainly focused on adding this part just around the outside. So here is what the burger looks like. I'm now moving on to creating the cat's features. So I started off with creating the head with some white polymer clay and attaching on the ears. Then here I've created some pink and purple chalk pastel shavings, which I'm using to dust on some small pieces of white polymer clay for the little gradient eyes. And then here you can see that I'm adding them onto the face. I used white polymer clay for the light reflections and then black polymer clay to create the rest of the face. So that my cat's head would fit nicely against the burger, I had to cut a little bit off using a round cookie cutter first. To finish off this charm, I added a little tail on the back and then also some feet before baking it in my oven. So here is what the finished burger cat charm looks like from the front, and then also the side view that we originally saw in the drawing. I really enjoyed making this charm because it felt like something that I would kind of usually create anyway. So here is what my polymer clay charm looks like next to the original drawing, and that's pretty much it for design number 2. So the last design today, surprisingly, isn't food related, but it does still have an animal. So this drawing is a bear with a disco ball on its head, and I decided to choose this because I honestly probably would have never thought of it, and I really wanted to see how I could create this design. So here are the colors that I'm going to be using. I've got some dark browns and a black polymer clay. I'm beginning here by creating the actual bear. So here you can see I am blending the head and the body together, and then also adding on some ears. I'm using the darker brown polymer clay for all of the features, and then for the face I'm using black polymer clay to match the original drawing. For the arms and legs, I created some little teardrops and simply attached these on, as well as a tail on the back. So once the bear was done, it was then time to move on to the disco ball, which was the part that I wasn't really sure about, but I wanted to give it a go, which of course is why I chose this design. So to begin, I started off with a ball of black polymer clay, and then I used my needle tool to create a crisscross pattern all the way around the ball and also from the top to the bottom. I then stuck a piece of wire through the center, and then I added this to the bear's head with some Sculpey bacon bond to secure it. However, I then actually ended up pulling off the disco ball, which would hopefully make it a little easier to color after baking. So now I'm brushing on some UV resin, and I cured it slightly before then taking these multi-chrome chameleon flakes in 4 different colors and applying them to the disco ball. Initially, I wasn't sure how this was going to look because although it looks like I'm adding 4 colors of the flakes, they are color shifting. So I guess technically I'm adding 8 different colors, and I didn't know if it would look too much or not. Once the whole disco ball was looking nice and colorful, I actually did really like how it turned out. I then secured the flakes into place by glazing them with some UV resin, and then I used my super glue to attach the disco ball onto the bear's head. So here is what the finished charm looks like, and also my polymer clay version next to the original drawing. I do really like the way that the disco ball came out, and I had a lot of fun creating this charm. They are all the designs that I'm going to be creating in today's video. If you do like this series and these types of videos, please let me know down below so I can make more for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.